Talon's amulet plus 9 will. Stash it for a moment. Anyone else?
Arthur, work. Set on.
Take all that. And all that.
All right.
Oops. And all this. If you have any food on the table, I'll take your fish too.
I've got this. It's done.
More money.
My mind feels sharp as steel. Arthur, my mind feels.
It's fun to go through a place sometimes and just completely slaughter everybody inside. Nice and easily. Makes you feel like you've really arrived in this game. I remember when shadows were like a big problem. I think this is the last little area.
Arthur!
Oh, we're slaughter you, okay.
My mind.
Twin Sting. Plus 3 focus on hit. Okay. Deal 150 raw damage to enemies with Twin Sting to unlock the next level. That should be easy enough to do. Oh,
Ready,
I
Watcher.
have Itamox selected.
Sure.
Potion major recovery. And a fine flail. Alright, let's head out. That was easy enough. Now, let's head to the Golden Grove. So I think the other one's down here. No way, maybe they're not.
Many blessings, traveler.
Hail, Estremor.
Goodbye. Darn it. Keep hitting the wrong buttons today on everything. Tamarin.
Many blessings, traveler.
I think I talked to you already. Alright, she's not here apparently. Often ventures to Elmshore. Oh, okay, Elmshore. Yeah, I was mixing that up in my head with something else. Hopefully she's by herself. Haha, yeah, right. Alright, so my guess is she's up in this area somewhere. She's somewhere around this river. More celery for me. An elf stands on a dais in the middle of a clearing. The ground is blanketed with leaves in various shades of russet and gold. Her eyes are closed and her arms folded in front of her. A curtain of autumnal yellow hair hangs in front of her face. As you draw near, she lifts her chin and looks at you with shifting hazel eyes.
Greetings, Estremor. You are among the Ovates of the Golden Grove.
And you are?
High Ovate, an ancient elm among poles and saplings. We have taken root in the same soil, and the others grow in my shade. Their roots nourish my soil. My branches give them shelter. Together, we grow.
Your essence churns like an eddy in the stream, Estremor. Speak the questions on your soul. I'd like to know more about the Ovates of the Golden Grove.
Like the leaves of a tree, we are many sharing one source. One purpose. Living or dying, we nourish one another. The truths of the soul and of the body are written on every blade of grass and sung by every creature under the sun. We learn these truths and sing them back.
Ours is not the song of the gods, but of Weretha. This is why many of our numbers study the discourse of herbs and inhabit the skins of beasts. You're druids. Are you familiar with the Ethnic Knoll? Wrinkle of the Stace curls her lip. A swarm of maggots on a dead songbird. Worms hollowing a mighty spruce. They celebrate the withering of life rather than its budding. They see strength from others instead of accepting what Weretha freely gives. Her eyes dim to a blackish brown. They take pride in their independence from the gods, yet their leaders demand an even greater sacrifice. Death for life. Strength from the spirit essence of their petitioners. The Ethnic Knoll offer another kind of servitude, and one to kith whose souls have long since rotted. The Ethnic Knoll should save lives, not end them. Flecks of green open like buds in her eyes. On this we agree. Well, we're probably not going to agree on something here. Berethme has sent me to end your life. It has continued on for too long.
At least he chose someone who wouldn't wrap her intentions in trickery and lies. But what is a god that his voice should carry so far? And what are you that you should so eagerly obey? The gods only have dominion over what we cede, and you would cede matters of life and death to them.
It's that or trust your neighbors. If you had my neighbors, you might think twice about that. Are you any different? You've extended your life beyond its natural span. Through work and wisdom, the greater the tree, the more fruit it may yield. She nods at the ovates gathered in the clearing. They are vines climbing an ancient element to the sunlight. My growth sustains them. Should our harmony fall prey to a god's jealousy? We should not be slaves to the whims of the gods, but I find it hard to see what her followers gain from this arrangement. I need Barrow's aid, and this is what he's asked of me. She shakes her head. It is a shame we cannot come to an accord. You're right, it is, because it looks like you've not got that many people with you. That's not good for you. Let's have you two go after her. Itamok, swing this way. Go after him. Let's knock everybody down. Pelagina, break off. Go after her. Take that. What's this? Ring of Protection. Minor regen. Somebody's got a stack of those somewhere.
Of course. Hey.
Can't convince her to basically take her own life. However, it isn't really important. It changes nothing. It's probably what that check was for, huh? I think there was a check in there.
All right, then.
Let's pick the flowers. Alright, back to, I think Old Song is what I'm looking for. We're gonna hit that temple. Distant relative leaves the stronghold. I didn't know distant relative came to the stronghold. Distant relative is probably not actually on the up and up. Distant relatives never are. Alright, Noon Frost. Let's go for it. Up. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, there was some kind of a vision. I'm guessing it was one of the ones that just pop in and go away. Can't do New Frost without killing anyone if you're a bit sneaky. I did get a key in here. So this is where they were telling me not to move around in the temple. Plus somebody's missing in here too. Prison of Ice. Find Alawa. Alright, let me see something. I gotta find a breach. And I gotta find us. Found Noon Frost, Glamfath, and Glamfellan have clearly established a presence here. If they're responsible for Lawa's disappearance, I doubt they'll admit as much. Still, I may be able to track her down. Let's ask about that girl. Seems a cult. Well, no, goodbye. Alright. You guys chill
Ready,
here
Watcher.
for a minute. I'm gonna bust out my Metal Gear Solid skills here.
I'm on the trail.
Let's save it before I start trying to bust out my Metal Gear Solid skills. Can't see me.
Let's see this stubborn bastard. It's done.
Hello? I'll just shut that for a moment.
Let's see this stubborn bastard. It's done.
White crystal key. Push a major regen. Thick patches of fur cling to the tent leather. Despite the chill, the bedrolls feel warm inside. Nope, nope, nope. Don't shut it. There you go. Hidden object.
What's this, Itamak?
I don't know. What is it? Because I can't see it. Something in the room up ahead? Oh, it must be that. There's no one in here. Oh, God. Okay, we're alright.
It's done.
Windwalker, quarterstaff. Freezing damage, +1 enemies engaged. I'll take it, but I've got Durance actually set up to do fire stuff, I think, for the most part. Chair radiates an unnatural, bone-chilling cold. Get back, get back, get back, get back, get back, get back, get back. Okay, I need to get this. Okay, hang out a minute. Locate the frost-hewn breach. Seal it. Well, there's a, Is that the breach? Because I don't know how the heck I'm getting past all these dudes. As you near the platform, the temperature drops sharply. Something saps every last bit of warmth from the air, leaving the breath of your lungs cold as it escapes your lips. You see a doorway filled with glowing ice. Silhouetted against it is an elven man, his arms outstretched.
Gods, it's gotten so hard to concentrate. You're not one of us. The others won't be fooled if they find you sneaking around.
What's going on here? We're reaching out the Rimgand. Last way we know how. He turns back to the Frozen Arch. Please, I must concentrate. I'll go then. Well, actually, I want to stop you, but... Also, how can you see me? I was sneaking. Rimgand sent me to close the frost-hewn breach. His red eyes widen. You are a man of compassion. Would you trap us here another 100 lifetimes? He shakes his head, weariness creeping back into his eyes. We can't continue like this. We've got to find a way into the White Void. The White Void?
Rimergon's domain. A place where all things are mingled like snowflakes in a blizzard. It's a vortex of such chaos that even the Beast of Winter himself could not calculate the trajectory of the infinite particles of essence there. As souls are broken down over successive reincarnations, they become part of the White Void. It is a place where all things find perfect unity and freedom.
Here at a response.
The frost-hewn breach is a weak spot in the barrier between us and the White Void. Thin ice on a frozen lake. We've come from the White that wends to find it.
And you want to open a breach?
So that we can die. Permanently. We've lived more lifetimes than any mortal should. We've been faithful followers of Rimergon since our earliest incarnations. He's the god of entropy. Why would he force us to be reborn again and again? But if anything could pass through the frost-hewn breach, it would enter directly into the White Void. This death is overdue for us. We just have to find a way through.
Tell me about you and your people.
We call ourselves Glomfellan. Most here know us as Pale Elves. We hail from the White that wends, a glacial continent at the southernmost edge of Eora.
Scotty nods. They're nomads, hardy lot. Some of the tribes occasionally spend a season in southern Nasatak.
We received a watcher in our lands a season ago and paid her to tell us of the origins of our souls. We wanted to contemplate the essence that fills us and consider how Rimergon might shatter and sow us once our days are spent. We were not prepared for what we learned.
I don't think the Watcher was either. She explained that every one of us had been reborn whole into the clan over centuries, generations spanning back to the first days over our people set foot on the White that wends. We had all been cut off from the mercy our God promises. That night we began awakening, experiencing fragments of our past lives, old hatreds, dead passions, tangled memories. It illuminated nothing but the realization that we're doomed to live 1,000 pointless lives, never closer to Rimgan's salvation. We want to die. We want Rimgan to scatter our souls into the ether, that their million fragments might join with the White Void. He looks at his hands and a single frostbitten finger. My magic hasn't found a way through the frost-hewn breach yet, but there must be one. Give him the glowing ice crystal. Rimgan gave this ice shard to close the breach. Perhaps it will let you through. Glassfall cups his hands around the shard, his face lit by a frozen glow, a token from the Beast of Winter himself. He closes his hands around the frozen crystal. You've given us a gift that's been denied to us for centuries, thank you. Summons the rest of the Pale Elves and they gather around the frost-hewn breach. Don't give it to him. Oh, shit. I thought that seemed a little weird, but I didn't have any other option other than to fight him. I don't think I did I? This is my last quick save at here. I'm full of poor decisions today. You could convince him that he shouldn't. Okay.
Of course.
Oh shoot, wait, go back.
Watcher.
Oh, Scott, I thought you were up there. Alright. Alright, nice and easy.
Always something new.
There's somebody up here, I believe. Take that. Okay. save it again in case I do something wrong here.
Gods, it's gotten so hard to concentrate. You're not one of us. The others won't be fooled if they find you.
What's going on here? I'm good then. Okay, gotta talk to you again. Rimgan sent me to close the Frosthewn Breach. The White Void.
The Frost-hewn breach is a weak spot in the barrier.
Tell me about your
between
people
us and
first.
We call ourselves. We received a.
And you want to open a breach.
So that we can die. But if anything could pass through the Frost-hewn breach, it would enter directly into the White Void. This death is overdue for us. We just have to find a way through.
You can't oppose the will of a god. He laughs, but his eyes do not. You think that because Rimgan spoke to you in a dream, he can march in here and tell us about his will? We followed him and suffered by him for almost as long as his temple has stood. Now we seek the very end that he promises. Do not lecture me about my duties to a god. That he shouldn't try. I have terrible That's okay. That's okay, I can get around this. I can get around this. Because remember, I spoke to the Alpine Dragon. It wants another 17 resolve. I can do that. I can do 17 resolve. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, crap. No, I can't. I need the resting bonus from Caed Nua. I'd have to go back to Caed Nua. I may have to put this on hold. Let's level up Durance real quick before I forget about it. Because I just noticed he's leveling up. Spell Mastery. Devotions for the Faithful. I like that spell. Go and get it. Takes like 2 minutes. Alright. Sagani, you gotta sneak back down here.
Watcher.
So I get the resting bonus, and I still have those gauntlets that give +4 resolve, so that will be 17. Careful getting out. And just let this guy, I don't think this guy's gonna come up to you. Alright, there we go. Cool.
Hey.
You must gather your party.
You must gather your party before venturing forth. It's always those damn Resolve 17 checks. Alright, let's see, Caed Nua.
Last thing the Dyrwood needs is another foreign colony.
Let me make sure I've got those gloves on me. Here we go, Siegebreaker gauntlets. We want +3 resolve.
Have a moment to talk.
What do you want to talk about right now?
a deer in the middle of Erd Glonfoth. But I'm glad I can bring this success back to Masuk. And perhaps Persak will return to us one day because of it.
Do you think Masuk will remember you the way they remember Bursak? It'd be nice to know I've made a difference and to get the first choice of caribou flank during festival time.
To be honest, the biggest relief is knowing that my journey was worthwhile. That finding Persak and carrying our village's story to him will strengthen our community and return his soul to us. I'm looking forward to being back in Masuk among my family and my people. But more than anything, I'm glad to finally understand the purpose behind these last 5 years.
Alright.
What do you think? Do you feel as though you understand the purpose behind your hunt for Theos?
I need to know what happened in my past and why it haunts me now.
Those reasons can make all the difference. I hope they're useful to you. Anyway, Theos isn't getting any closer. I suppose we'd best keep after him.
Let's go. Save it. Accept. Let's go back to Old Song. I think every time I resticate Nua from now on, it's just going to be the resolve boost. I'm always needing that. Alright, before I forget, put these on, and that gives you Resolve 17. Okay.
Hey.
I got it this time. Nothing can possibly go wrong this time.
Of course.
Alright, Skani. Gotta get you back up there.
I'm here.
Sneak.
Slow and silent.
Save it.
Gods, it's gotten so hard to concentrate. Rima Gons, the Frost-hewn breach, is a week's we call us. We received so that we. But if anything could pass through the
Can't oppose the
Frost-hewn
will of a god. If Rimgan wished for your souls to enter the White Void, wouldn't he make it so? I don't pretend to understand his will, and neither should you. So we should live another 100 lifetimes of toil in devotion to a god who will not even deign to give us a reason. He heaves a sigh, clouding the air between you. We've been faithful to Rimgand all these generations, and even now it's his mercy we seek, and these centuries are but the blink of an eye to one who is eternal. He looks at the drawn, haggard faces of his people. If it's Rimgand's will, we'll go back to the white that wins. Perhaps one day he'll reward our endurance. They turn to leave, shuffling through Noonfrost's ice-slick halls. All right.
Hey.
I've gained reputation with Twin Elms and the Fangs.
Of course.
The gleaming wall of ice seems to leach all the warmth from the room. The cold sears your skin and you draw back before touching it. Pedestal of black ice rises from the floor. Long finger-like ice crystals as hard as clear as diamonds surround and pierce the altar. A hole has been gouged out of the middle of the altar. Though it can't be more than a few inches deep, it sucks the air around you. Plug the hole. The shard fits perfectly. As it settles into place, the cold around the altar dissipates. Similarly, the portal before you seems to thicken and the mysterious seepage tapers off. Alright, got that done. We still gotta find a body in here, though. I figure everybody's probably still gonna be mad if they catch me here, so... Stick there for a minute. Scotty goes sneaking. It's actually... Did I miss a room back here? No, it's that chamber. Leave the door shut.
Let's see this stubborn bastard. It's done.
Oh, everyone's gone? Oh, okay. Cool.
Found something.
Take that, Scotty trap. Take that. Take that.
Let's see this stubborn bastard. It's done.
Small locked rooms are usually treasure. No, not this time. A young Orlin scrambles on the stone floor, pressing her back against the wall and baring her teeth at you. Her fur is patchy and matted. As you step into the room, she squints and turns her large ears towards you. A heavy sigh escapes her tiny body. Beasts take me. My eyes mistook you for one of them. Please get me out of here. What happened to you? When Noonfrost began freezing the lake, my sister Larha sent me to seek out the cause. She scowls at the dingy room. The Pale Elf Estremor seized me before I could report back. These Pale Elves are behind it. They showed up in Twin Elms not long ago saying they wanted to see to the upkeep of Noonfrost. I don't know how, but they opened the Frosthewn breach at the back of the temple. It sucks warmth and life straight into their frozen god's barren domain. She shivers. They've got to be stopped. It's only a matter of time for the cold spreads further. Tell me about the people that captured you. She snarls, her pointed teeth flashing. A clan of Pale Elves from the White that Wends, devotees of Rimgand, or so they claim. Their actions suggest other intent. They've come ready to fight. Wizards, priests, and paladins. A wizard named Glassfall leads them, a man obsessed with the Frosthewn breach. My ears hear him through the wall, casting spells and calling upon strange powers. I don't know what he wants with it, but no good can come of it. Can you tell me anything about the Frosthewn breach? Not really. Something to do with Rimgand, the Beast of Winter. I follow Galloway myself. Make a run for it. Go. She turns towards the hall, her large ears angled forward. As fast as my feet can carry me, she scrambles for the exit on emaciated arms and legs. At the door, she glances back at you. Thank you, Estremor. Be careful. She melts into the shadows. And she did run fast out of there. Oh, I have it on fast mode, that's why. These bronze manacles gleam with frost.
What's this, Itamak?
Though cold to the touch, these manacles are free of ice. A fine club. Nice little detail, she had that hidden under the bed. Is there anything else in here I haven't checked out over here? What's the store?
Stubborn bastard. I've got this. It's done.
Silver key. Another book. Water drips from the edges of the alcove. Now I can turn into quests. I think Nearfrost is done now. Yep, that's everything. Alright, let's go turn them in. Thorlin stands under the open sky, taking deep breaths of fresh air. Feels like I've been reborn. She thumps you on the shoulder. Come by the maw sometime. The rest of the Fangs will want to meet the cunning Estremor who freed me. Alright, Elm's Reach, I think. Josh just standing on space there. Alright, save it. Pray to Rimgand. Wait a minute, Skyne. Oh, this isn't stuff I've seen before. A man, emaciated and almost naked, huddles at the beast's legs. His body is scored with lash marks, and his nose and ears have been carved from his face. Sucks to be him. His black eyes pierce to white out. The Aurochs stops and stands before you, enveloping you in a violent blizzard that surrounds it. Though his mouth does not move, the beast speaks in a deep, thunderous voice.
A clan of Glamfelin ventured from the White Vat Wens to find the crack in the ice. When you sealed it, you damned their souls to a slow weathering here, one they had sought to escape.
This is what your vision directed.
A fitting reply from an obedient servant. You seek always the correct answer, like a solution to a riddle.
Yeah, I remember that time I killed all your followers in that temple. That was a pretty good answer, I thought.
For each there is a season watcher. Winter's shroud covers all things in its time. The heat and energy of life dissipates, and untethered essence fades into chaos. But entropy is a chisel of ice and a hammer of wind. It is not for mortals to wield these tools.
The world shudders beneath you, and a great crack echoes across the white expanse. The ice splits at your feet, waves slapping through the rift.
The Watcher seeks something long lost. What is it you search for?
Thousands of souls that Theos has stolen for Wadika.
Theos has removed these souls from the cycle. They are ice melting in the sun. Let them fade.
Let them forget this world and be forgotten by it.
Take the souls she so desires and grind them into dust. Let her see her careful schemes thoroughly ruined.
I do like his voice, though. The last one sounded a little nastier than the other two. For several seconds, the waves wash quietly against the ice, and the Aurochs stand silently amidst the churning flurries.
It is the destiny of all things to crumble and join the chaos that follows this world. Some seek it willingly, as you have seen.
To mingle, roiled and stirred by the tides of the universe. It is not an unkind fate.
Why do you oppose Wadika?
She desires to order chaos and shackle the agents of change in the world. Under her, all things would remain static and frozen according to her laws.
Even now, she only barely keeps the pact of the gods to leave the affairs of Kith in mortal hands. She moves in Theos where she cannot move directly.
And so we call on you to do the same. Such are the schemes of the Queen that was.
I'll seek Theos and Son of Shadow.
When you reach the Burial Isle, we will send lost souls to guide you through the pit. This is our gift to you. What you do after you face Theos will be your choice. But we would have you set the stolen essence adrift.
And whether you would heed us or no, understand that our end comes to all things eventually. Help us achieve it, and we shall reward you now with a power to rival Theos's.
But do not choose lightly. We forget nothing, least of all a betrayal.
I would hear what the other gods have to say first.
Do not wait forever. We wait, but Theos does not.
Rimgan continues towards you, swallowing you in a blinding, deafening snowstorm. You experience a dizzying, exhilarating disorientation, oblivious to the landscape around you and even the reality of your own body. You hear a noise that could be the shrieking winds or Skane's screeching cackle, then it recedes with everything else. Rimgan reappears in the distance, trudging away from you, and a white owl follows him. As a vision of snow fades, it leaves in its wake the flagstones of Tir Ephron. Alright, let's take a look at... I think it's this one. Pray to Bareth. As you pray to Bareth, you again find yourself on the road. Squinting into the distance, you see a short, pale figure waiting for you. First, you think it's another vision of Archdruid Raistin, but then you notice the figure's skeletal frame and rictus grin. He stands in front of another skull gate, but the way leads down, not onward. He beckons for you to approach. Behind you is a woman, her skin milk pale against her black hair. She wears a suit of armor so dark it seems to suck the light from the stars. The road winds up a mountain behind her.
A toll, traveler.
Pay the Pallid Knight. You drop a few coppers into her hand and she closes her fist around the coins. You instantly feel a small weight added to your purse. The Lord of this road demands a toll of all, but he lends generously that all might travel his roads again. Behind her, the usher grins his lipless smile and waits. The road bores into the mountain. You find yourself in a gigantic cavern. The ceiling curves up and away and is dotted with moisture. At this distance, the shining beads look like stars, clustered and scattered in constellations. The usher and the Pallid Knight lead you up a trail carved into the edge of the cavern. Two identical cave mouths wait up ahead, and you follow the usher to one of them. Standing at the edge and gazing down, you see an endless, ever-changing plain bisected by a road. Only then do you realize you're no longer on a road. As you follow the road to the point where it disappears below you, you realize that you're standing in one of the eye sockets of a massive skull. The usher points to the road. Archdruid Raistin appears below you. He's just as you remembered him, stern and smooth skin, yet with each step along the road he grows, swelling with blood and essence. His heavy steps become slower and slower until he stops altogether. His distended body fills the path completely.
You met a dwarf traveling this road. What did you do?
He lived many centuries. I brought him death. Paladin Knight's flesh is taut against her skull. She nods once, barely dipping her chin.
And every death begins in a new life.
As Reston's swollen body ruptures, the effect is like a dam bursting. Ghostly figures, as hazy and indistinct as wisps of smoke, continue along the cleared path. Some tumble and rush along while others amble and drift, but all continue forward. The usher directs your attention to another figure moving down the path. This time you see the high ovate Arona. As she follows the road, her movements become slow and erratic. Her legs creak with each step. Her feet grow long, thick roots that burrow into the ground. She finally stops, rooted in place.
You found a tree that had lived for centuries. Its roots were deep, and its boughs sheltered many. Why did you cut it down?
It was a parasite. While its branches sheltered others, its roots sucked them dry.
All draw their life's energy from the deaths of others. This is why all must remain part of the cycle of death and rebirth. No creature may be a closed loop unto itself.
Arona's body petrifies below, and the shimmering leaves of her hair blow down the path. You seek another who has lived his lives on the brink of the cycle. He sits on the inside of the wheel, observing its revolutions. With each path, he is plucked from the stream and returned to it intact. Why do you hunt Theos? Theos has entrapped thousands of souls for Woedica. I've got to stop him from giving her absolute power.
If you know this much, then another god has already spoken with you, and given you half of the answer.
Theos serves Woedica. She desires an escape from her own power. She desires an escape from her own cycle. Power without decline. Theos has removed thousands of souls from the cycle so that their essence might empower her. Black depths of her eyes threaten to swallow you. You must stop him, and you must return them to the cycle. Why does Woedica even need Theos' help? Why do you need mine for that matter? The gods guide souls through the cycle of death and rebirth, but Eora is the domain of mortals. We stand aside, weights and counterweights. Were one to alter the ties of kith, all would follow. We would tip this world from its axis. That is why Woedica directs a mortal to do her bidding, and why any who would stop Theos must be mortal as well. What end would it serve to send the souls back into the cycle? Tending to these souls is a question of stability, Watcher, of maintaining the natural order of the world and the ebb and flow of essence. Couldn't they be returned to the Hollowborn? As battered, burdened things, do you mix sour wine with fresh? The kindness you seek lies in giving them a new beginning, not in shackling them to this life. If Theos has meddled with these souls, perhaps it would be better to destroy them. Nah. I think I understand what you're telling me. The usher gestures to the road and the starry expanse beyond while the Paladin Knight speaks. I only show you the motion of the universe, Watcher. I must go to Sun and Shadow now.
No mortal can survive the descent into the pit. But there are souls on the Burial Isle that are pledged to me. I will grant them to you, and they shall bear you down safely, as well as light the way beyond.
A multitude appears at the other end of the road, raising their voices and kicking up dust as they make their way towards you. Return them to the cycle, Watcher. Promise that you will, and I shall give you power befitting a champion of death. Paladin Knight raises a finger. Accept my favor, however, and I will demand this decision as you do. I collect from all mortals in time. I'll hear what the other gods have to say. Do not delay long, Watcher. What Theos seeks to do cannot be undone, even by the turning of the wheel. The usher points behind you. When you turn, you find yourself again standing in Tir Everon. So now I need to figure out who to go with, pledge to. Okay, well, I'm leaning. Is there like anything major that happens? Does it just change the ending a bit? Because I'm leaning towards either Hylia or Barath. Probably Hylia. It's generally a stat buff and ending. Almost everyone goes with Hylia, because it sounds like the nice thing to do. But I would think Bareth would be the one that would know exactly what's going to happen with everything, because with Hylia, we're kind of banking on all these souls are going to go back into the Hollowborn and everything's going to be okay with them. Bareth is like over death. One would think that like if she tells you they're not going to be, she almost made it sound like they're not going to be normal, that she would know what she's talking about. Decisions.
Hey.
Hylia is the only one that actually has party members telling me they want me to go with them.
Hey.
There is that. But I'm a barbarian. And a barbarian going with God of Death sounds pretty nifty too.
Hey.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, screw it. 1,000 birds alight on a tree in a temple. Hylia's voice carries on the breeze. Do you return to swear your oath, Watcher? Do not underestimate my power. I am a mighty friend to those who are faithful. I went with you the first time by accident. I feel it was fate. I swear to return the souls to the Hollowborn children of the Dyrwood. And I shall remember. Dark wings snap shut, and tiny sparrow flits to your shoulder. It tilts its head back and opens its beak, and the song it spills forth is like nothing you've ever heard. Melodies at once mournful and beautiful entrance you. The world becomes a place of pure color and sound. Each perfect moment follows the next like the lines of a poem or the bar of a song. Liquid was granted Hylia's boon. You awaken as if from a dream, standing in Tir Everon. Hylia's song and the power of her blessing follows you still.
Of course.
Alright. What was that boon thing I got? +1 lore, +1 perception.
Hey.
Gee, I wonder who gives resolve. Alright, so all that's really left then is to go to that pit, probably, from the sound of it. which means that now, if I'm getting this right, make sure we weren't going to get stopped by a vision or something. If I'm getting this right, we pretty much have side quests, finish up White March 2, Endless Paths, Console Halt at that tower or whatever it is. We still got to take care of that too, but we're probably saving that. Gathbin we got to take care of. And I think that's it. I may or may not go back and kill the Alpine Dragon. And Roderick thing, yes. So, I think what I'm going to do is actually stop for today.